real for a minute. I'm not going to do a pretty makeup look today. We're going to have a story time. We're going to get through it. And I'm going to get through it. And I'm not going to cry. And you're not going to cry. We're going to talk some real shit. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jessica, and if you're not new, then hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope we can be friends. This video gives me anxiety. This video touches home. I've debated back and forth on making this video because, well, let me back up. Hi, today we're going to talk about something very personal to me. It has touched my life, and it has crippled me, and it has brought me back. It is it's up and down. Today we're going to just talk about PCOS. Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. And it is something that I have. I've been diagnosed with it for years. Gosh, 2012 is when it really hit me hard that you have this problem. But I believe I had it before then. And I believe my doctors knew I had it before then. It just wasn't told to me to a point where I completely grasped the severity of the situation. I'm gonna just touch on kind of like the cause and effect kind of thing today. There are some bigger issues that affect me that I can go into in a second video if y'all want to. You'll understand when I get there. But we're just gonna kind of dive and scratch the surface a little bit. I debated on doing this video because there's so many uncertainties with this diagnosis, and I personally don't know but one other person that has this, even though I have learned it affects 1 in 10 people, 1 in 10 women. And for me to know only one other person that it's affected scares me, because other people could have the same problem and not even know it. They not be old enough to notice a problem. Younger generations are on YouTube now. There's some that are my generation, and that they probably already know if they have this or not, but this video is to educate those that might have some of these same symptoms as I do. Now please understand, I am not a doctor. I do not have any degree in this. I only know what I have personally gone through. I only know what me and my doctor have discussed, and I only know what I have researched myself on very credible sites, which I'll link below. So that way anybody that has further questions, please follow suit. I'm going to just start in with the cause. The cause of PCOS is unknown. There's not a cure. They do not know what causes it. They can run through, there's not a specific test that can determine, yes, you have PCOS. There is a bunch of checklist items that they go down. And if you meet those certain checklist criteria, then you would go in and have an ultrasound. But to break it down, polycystic ovarian syndrome is cysts on your ovaries. But you don't have to have cysts on your ovaries to have polycystic ovarian syndrome. In 2013, they were trying to change the name because it was misleading, that you only get cysts and that's what is PCOS, and it's not. So for me, the symptoms include mood swings, hormone imbalances, infertility, random hair growth in the wrong places for women, a resistance to insulin, but I don't have diabetes, but I could be determined pre-diabetic, and I have insulin resistance, and I have increased, oh sorry, I didn't mean to shake you. I have my little notes here because I need to plan this thought out because it just overwhelms me with all the information that I've known and I've been through and I've dealt with, and I have extra male hormones in my body. Now, all women produce a male hormone called androgens, and when we as women with PCOS have we have insulin resistance and more insulin is created to try to fix a problem, it kind of triggers the adrenal glands and they produce more androgens. Everybody in the field is just producing all this stuff, and your body, a woman's body, can't change it all to estrogen. It just stays as an androgen or turns to testosterone, and that's what causes the extra hair growth or the predominant jawline. Now me, if I did not have all this fluff right here, I would have a very predominant jawline. It is very pointy, but because I have all this extra fluff, you can't see it, but I can feel it all right through there. But inappropriate male features, that's what the predominant jawline is, and some women get that. Another big thing is severely hard to lose weight, and another one is so easy to gain weight. I could look at a cheesecake and gain 10 pounds. It just happens. Now that's a little bit dramatic, but the point is that it's so easy to gain weight for those of us with PCOS and so hard to lose it. I've even had gastric bypass and have lost quite a bit and then started gaining it back. I was eating my 2 ounces. I did not follow every single protocol, so that is not completely why I was gaining some of the weight back, but that had a big thing to do with it, that it's super easy. When I was getting ready to have gastric bypass in 2007, it was not mentioned to me that you have this, that you could possibly have this, even though another symptom that I had was irregular periods, where I would go a year and not have one, and they said it's just because you're overweight. Well, I tried to lose weight. I couldn't lose more than 30 pounds, and they said, well, that's just water weight. It just became a back and forth hustle. I was on all different kinds of funky diets. But anyway, another side effect that I learned later in life was that I had a low libido, and that is also another side effect. And those are just the ones that I have. There's so many more. There is, you have an increased risk of stroke, heart attack, endometrial cancer, because your your lining of your uterus can't shed correctly and it builds up. Headaches. I don't get severe headaches, but when I do get, I don't get a bunch of headaches, but when I do get headaches, they are severe. But I don't say that is my PCOS. I say I'm a woman and I get headaches. Another one is acne. I struggled with acne really bad in high school. I was on Proactive. My mom even had to be on Accutane, so we just jocked it up to genetics, because my mom had really bad acne for a while. But that is also a side effect of PCOS. Depression. I've been in and out of depression for as long as I can remember. Anxiety. I've always had this like knot that just builds and twists and turns, and it's just, that's my anxiety, and that's another thing that is a side effect of PCOS, but it is not the complete reason you have anxiety, if that makes sense. Dark skin around like your neck and your groin area and under your boobs. That is another sign. I did not have that, but I can only imagine how uncomfortable that would be to know that those areas are there. You have, oh, and back to the cysts. I did not have cysts on my ovaries. I did not. But you can have cysts on your ovaries. And I know a friend of mine that did. And there's different kinds of cysts. There's like 4 different kinds of cysts that could happen. It could happen one in your ovaries, one outside your ovaries, one on the follicle, one outside of the uterus. Like there's just all different kinds that you can have. Like I know a woman that had endometriosis, and she got a cyst, and it put her on her knees and put her in the bed for days when that thing ruptured. It can be a very difficult thing. A lot of times what they try to look for is if you have little pearls that are in and around your ovaries and your uterus, and that is a telltale. That is you have PCOS. But all these other symptoms that I listed are also part of PCOS. So there's different parts of the world notice it differently. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. And some people say if you have 2 out of 3 of these symptoms, you have it. And some people say you got to follow down this list, and if you have 10 of these symptoms, you have it. Me, I was just checking boxes off, and I found out that let me back up. It really hit home that I had PCOS, and I really understood the problem I had when I got married in 2011, and my husband and I were trying to conceive, and we couldn't. And I went through a long time saying it can't be me, and it couldn't be him because his siblings all had kids. Anyway, the point is, 2012 hit, and I went to see my OB for my normal checkup, and I said, look, we're trying to conceive and we can't. And then it hit, and he said, you have PCOS. Because it was in my last medical records from my previous doctor. And he said, do you really? And I said, oh, okay, well, what do we do? And he said, do you not really understand what it is? And it hit me hard to know that 1 in 10 women have this. It affects over 10 million people, and some of them don't even know it. And PCOS is the leading cause of infertility so far. And it's just like, really? Me? I have that? Did that come from my gastric bypass or whatever? And he said, no, you had it apparently for a while, but nobody really knew what it was. But looking at your records, you have it. And you've been had it. And it's just so anyway, I'm not going to go into the infertility part of it because that is a whole nother story in itself, and I would be glad to do that. Just let me know. I may cry a little bit in that their video. But anyway, so he was saying, well, it explains your mood swings. It explains your hormones being up and down. It explains why you don't have regular periods, and it explains why it's hard for you to lose weight no matter what diet you're on. It explains so much. And I felt lost. I felt like I don't feel bad. I don't feel different. I mean, sometimes I feel bloated and sometimes I feel yucky, but does this mean I'll never get to have children? And he said, no, it's just going to be really hard. And we're going to try really hard together. Whew, I'm going to cry right now. Okay. Anyways, so September was PCOS Awareness Month, and I should have done this then. But again, like I said, it's an insight to me. It's something I've dealt with, and some people may not think it is that big of a deal, but it is. It is to me. And when you're getting ready to walk into work with other women, and you realize that you've got this like 4 pieces of long black hair just right here randomly, and it's not cute. It it's created a lot of self-awareness and insecurities in myself. And I'm sure there's some other women out there that have also gone through that. And I want you to know you're not alone. And if you feel like you've got any of these symptoms and you just don't know where to turn, talk to your gynecologist. Like, legit, sit down, talk. Tell them you feel like you might have it. Can they test? Not test, because there's not really a test that says yes, you have it. It is, like I said, the checklist. It's blood work. It's ultrasounds. It is diet. It's all kinds of things to determine that's what you have now. But anyway, that is the gist of this video today. Like I said, I hope it helped somebody. If you need somebody to talk to, please leave me a comment. I'm free to chit chat. I'm sorry if y'all think I'm a little distant in this. I'm really trying to be open about it. I could go into so many details about, like, the oily skin that I have is not like the same. It's not like the same oils that some women have. It's a difference in the makeup of the sebum. And a lot of times that is where my very oily skin comes from, and why makeup only lasts on me like 6 hours. Like a good makeup day, 6 hours, 8 hours. And people can get away with wearing it all day. Like, for instance, I was talking to my best friend the other night. She had come and stayed the night, and I was doing just trying out some eye makeup for her because she's getting married soon. And I asked her, I said, do you have dry skin, combo skin, oily skin? What have you got? She said, oh, I got oily skin. And I said, okay. I've never seen any shine on her. I mean, she doesn't really wear foundation. She might wear a little powder here and there, and that's it. And now she's kind of moved on to like a little cream and a little powder. She's trying. But anyway, I said, okay, well, are we in like 8-hour mark, 12-hour mark? And she was like, no, if I sleep in it, the next morning it looks oily. I said, excuse me? Okay, I think you might have combo skin. Like, I didn't want to tell her she's wrong, because, you know, she might not be wrong. You know, she might have oily skin. But I wish my skin did not get oily until like 24 hours later or 18 hours later. This girl, she don't even know she's got pretty skin. Ooh, Jamie May. But anyway, so leaving on that note, I'm going to just do a recap real quick. I'm going to read down this list of side effects that I know that can be leading to your doctor thinking that you might have PCOS. I don't want to say it's why you have it, because you can have it for many reasons. But when you have a bunch of them, you have to ask yourself, do I need to get checked? If you're younger and you're thinking about possibly having children, I would say go ahead and get checked. If you're not and you've been able to get pregnant, bless you, child. It's wonderful, and you're fine. But you will just need to watch out for your insulin issues, because you may have insulin resistance. You may not. But anyway, let's run down this list. All right, hormone imbalance, infertility, low libido, hard to lose weight, easy to gain weight, acne, oily skin, depression, higher testosterone levels, higher androgen levels, random hair, inappropriate male features, higher risk of heart disease, higher risk of stroke, higher risk of diabetes. That you won't know if you really have that unless you talk to your doctor. But headaches, extra insulin, because you do have insulin resistance, so your body's trying to make more insulin. Dark circles or dark areas of the skin, usually around the groin, neck, and under the breast. Higher risk of endometrial cancer, because the irregular periods, the lining builds up in your uterus and it doesn't shed. Periods are irregular, sometimes non-existent. And possible cysts on your ovaries, and sleep apnea. That is what I have so far, and what I know in my own personal experience, and in some research of my friend, like I said, that does have it, and in support care groups. Talk to your doctor if you think something could possibly be why you can't get pregnant. And that's it. I'm going to stop rambling now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please hit the like or subscribe button if you wish to. And I hope to see you soon.